Hello everyone. I was not planning on making this video, but something has happened that I feel compelled to talk about, and it makes me glad that I have never used TikTok, and never will, frankly. In 2002, Osama Bin Laden published a letter to the American people, and in the last couple days, this letter has been circulating on TikTok and being praised by its users. Why is this? I suspect it's connected to recent events. As you may or may not be aware, since October 7th of this year, Israel has been at war with the Islamist group Hamas, who control the Gaza Strip. The current conflict starting after Hamas crossed into Israel, massacring civilians and taking hundreds of hostages. Both Gaza and Hamas are part of Palestine, and on TikTok, supporting Palestine is the popular opinion. Meanwhile, both the American government and, as far as I can tell, the American public have been broadly supportive of Israel. So TikTok has seemingly come to the conclusion that America is to be hated alongside Israel, hence the praise for Bin Laden. So what's in this letter that traitorous TikTokers are praising? Let's look into that and attempt to refute it. But first, I think it's worth elaborating a bit more about this Bin Laden character, since the young people on TikTok either don't know or don't care who he is or what he did, which is very worrying to me. Well, Osama Bin Laden was the leader of the Islamist terror organization Al-Qaeda, and was the mastermind of the September 11th attack that destroyed the World Trade Center in New York in 2001. He killed close to 3,000 people, and it was, and still is, the deadliest terrorist attack in American history. The letter to America he wrote was to justify this atrocity and anything else Al-Qaeda was going to do. So, without further delay, let's see what it says. British newspaper The Guardian had actually published Bin Laden's letter online way back in 2002, but took it down on November 15th of this year because of the vitriol it inspired when it began trending on TikTok. But it has been archived, and I'll link that in the description of this video if you want to read it for yourself. In case you forgot this guy was an Islamist, Bin Laden opens the letter with 2 verses from the Quran that give Muslims permission to attack non-Muslims. From there, Bin Laden poses 2 questions to the reader. Why are we, that is Al-Qaeda, fighting you, America? And what are we calling you to do, and what do we want of you? His answer to the first question explains why so many pro-Palestinian TikTokers are praising him now, and actually validates my earlier assertion, as Bin Laden links 9/11 to America's support for Israel. Bin Laden puts forward the idea that the West oppressed and is actively oppressing the Muslims in Palestine by creating and supporting the modern state of Israel. The argument being that by doing so, America attacked Muslims first, so Al-Qaeda is just fighting back. This idea, I find, is echoed in contemporary progressive claims that Israel actively oppresses its Muslim population, but actually goes further. The letter, that is, actually goes further in claiming that the very existence of Israel is an affront to Islam that needs to be dealt with. And just to address this quickly, despite what some may claim, Israel does not actively oppress its Muslim citizens, and in fact, you may find that Muslims in Israel have more freedom than Muslims in Muslim countries. Democratically elected government, freedom of speech, and freedom of religion, to name a few, are either specifically enshrined or derived from the rights enshrined in the Basic Law of Israel. I think now it would be wise to insert a tangent of something that wasn't covered in my original script, but is something that will most likely be brought up in the comment section, and that is the matter of the settlements. These are Jewish settlements sponsored by the Israeli government being set up in areas that are pretty generally accepted as being Palestinian territory. Now, personally, I don't condone these settlements, as I think they just needlessly raise tensions and help give the anti-Israel people a thing to point to and go, aha, see, everything we're saying is right. But I wouldn't go that far, because as far as I can tell, these settlements are new constructions. They're not throwing Palestinians out of their houses and taking them over. If they were doing that, I would agree, yes, that's very oppressive and bad, and they shouldn't be doing that. But as it currently stands, well, the settlements aren't great. I don't know if it's necessarily oppressive, but I just wanted to address that particular sticking point. Back to the regularly scheduled content. Bin Laden's second point is that Israel's claim to its territory, based on God's covenant with Abraham, as seen in the Jewish and Christian scriptures, is false, as Muslims are the true inheritors of God's covenant, and therefore of the promised land, which is Israel and Palestine, and that Muslims conquered it and threw out the Romans. The problem with this assertion is, whether you go by the biblical account or by the current academic model, the simple fact is the Jews were there first, and never really went away, even under Muslim rule. There is a reason, after all, that the Romans, when they controlled the area, called it Judea, named after the previous independent Jewish kingdom of Judea, which had previously been a province under the Achaemenid Empire, which had previously been a province under the Neo-Babylonian Empire, which had previously been an independent kingdom of Judah. And only a few decades after Jesus' death did the Romans rename the area to Syria-Palestine. This problem of the Jews, and Bin Laden admitted this as such previously, only became a problem when the Jews once again had an independent nation free of Muslim rule, with the problem at its heart being that Israel, as a Jewish state, prevents Muslim Sharia law being established in its territory, along with Russia and India, which America supported when they suppressed Muslim rebellions in certain areas of their countries. The rest of Bin Laden's letter is dedicated to the second question, which can be boiled down to Bin Laden demanding that America stop supporting Israel and implement Islamic law here, so I won't drag the video out with those details. Before ending this video, there is something I should bring to your attention. Both of the sources that I list for my claims in this video are from Wikipedia. When doing videos that require research, I try to avoid using Wikipedia in favour of sources more specialised in the subject matter, just because I like to try and be as in-depth as possible when presenting information. The use of Wikipedia here, though, is very deliberate, so as to demonstrate how readily available information that disproves the claims not only of long-dead terrorists, but anti-Semitic far-left TikTokers really is. Why? Why circle this point? Because I'm truly concerned that a large number of people close to me in age either can't be bothered to look this up, or just don't care because of their flagrant anti-Semitism. Be it pro-Palestine protesters in Australia literally chanting "Gas the Jews," "Kill all the Jews" trending on Twitter in the UK, or the chant "From the river to the sea, Palestine shall be free." It doesn't sound too bad until you consider the geography of the region and what that would really mean. I worry this ignorance, be it genuine lack of knowledge or deliberate ignorance of the facts, will only grow, with devastating results. It's happened before, after all. Well, if you're still here, thank you for listening. I really hope the comment section is not on fire, and I'll see you again eventually. Maybe. Bye.